Oh my gosh, I've literally been putting this video off for so long, and now I have 43 books to haul. This is why I need to film things sooner, but like books kept getting bought, and then I was buying things online and they didn't turn up, and it just all escalated to the point where this is my end of 2022 book haul, and there's a lot of books and I went a bit apeshit. So, as I said, I have books for a lot of the months because I have October books, November books, December books. I have a book that I bought in September that I didn't actually put into that last book haul, and I'm just going to try and get through this. There is a lot. You've probably seen most of them because, like, not that I've really read a heap of these. Like, I've read some, but, like, I keep mentioning them in videos anyway, but this is the official book haul. So let's do it. So the one I forgot to haul was my special edition of Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. So I have like shown it in my wrap up video because I think I mentioned it. But like again, it just needs to be shown in all its beautiful glory. Like look at these end pages. Like look at these boys. And like, it is so beautiful. Like it's gorgeous. And honestly, I found another special edition when I was out in Sydney a few weeks ago, and I was so tempted to buy another one just because it was gorgeous, but it's like I only need one edition, but it's beautiful. It even matches me a little bit. They're not even the same blue, but we're gonna say that they match. Next, I have The Princess Sister Swap by Jessica Gilmore. I don't really know why I bought this because like I don't know this author. I've never heard of this book before, but it was just a big W and I was just like, okay. So this is probably something I really didn't need to buy, but it's a romance. I'm gonna like it. And I love Princess and the Pauper vibes. Like it's definitely a great Barbie movie, but I love the Vanessa Hudgens Christmas Swap movie. Like they are some of my favorites and I honestly have watched them multiple times, but like it's giving vibes. Like I think it's gonna be good, but I've never seen anyone talk about it, so I don't think it's a very popular book, but like it could be cute. Then I received a copy of Would You Rather by Alison Ashley, and I got provided this by Harlequin, so I'm very thankful to have this book and I really enjoyed it. I read this straight away because I'm trying to read books that I get sent for review as soon as I can because I don't want to be behind like I am, because I still own some books that I got sent by the publishers that I just have not read, and it's just like, you know what's not going to happen. Hopefully it will, but it's just not happening at the moment. But this was really, really good. I actually really appreciated this romance and it felt like a more serious book. Like there was fun and there was really good moments, but the amount of grief that is surrounding these characters because there's just so much bad shit going on, it was really sad. But I highly recommend this book and I don't know if a lot of people have heard of it, so if you do want like a really good feel-good romance that just really makes you think, I highly recommend it. Then I got my copies of Game Board of the Gods by Rochelle Mead, so Game Board of the Gods and the Immortal Crown. So I bought these purely for Kat from Stars and Embers, so I'm going to read some of your favorite books. I know that Rochelle Mead is your favorite author, but do these count as your favorite books? But I got given the challenge from her to read them. I bought them. I'm horrified because the writing is so tiny, but the price was really good. I think these were like $10 each, and I was like, of course I need to buy these. So I have them and I'm going to experience them and then be very annoyed because the rest of the books never got made. This is the main reason I've stayed away from it, but I'm doing it for you. I'm going to read them and then I'm going to message you and be like, what the hell, the whole time. Be prepared. Then I had to get a copy of the Heartstopper Yearbook by Alison Oseman, so there wasn't really like a lot of new information. Like it was good, like there was a lot of like behind the scenes stuff, but no new story really. But it's all in colour and it's beautiful. One of my favourite things was seeing the difference of how Charlie and Nick were created from the beginning, because they look vastly different than they do in the final product, and even what we've seen in the first comic to the fourth comic, they have changed. Like she's refined them a lot more, and I just thought it was really interesting to see some of this background information, and especially as the comic got more popular, it was just a really fun time. Like it's definitely not needed, but it adds to your experience of the series, so if you're obsessed with it, buy it completely. Then I bought the Book of Dust by Philip Pullman, and I bought this because I assumed I would have finished his Dark Materials by now, but I have not. I've still only read the first book. Please yell at me to read them because I want to, because I want to watch the show and I want to get Binge, because Binge has a lot of things that I want to watch, but I'm not buying the service until I've read these books and I just have no motivation. But I actually bought this from the Book Grocer because I actually didn't know that they had a shop front in Newcastle, so I went there and I bought this book and I bought another book, but I was pretty happy to see it because honestly, oh my god, look at the size of this writing. Like, talk about difference from this to Game Boards of the Gods. Like, this will not take any amount of time to read. Like, this book could have been, oh my god. Oh my god though, look at the, oh my god, this is like the best thing that's happened to me all day. Look at this paperback. Ah! Okay, I have another book and I'm so annoyed because there was a sticker and I had to rip it off, and what the fuck is this? What is this? I'm horrified that this freaking cover just got ripped off. I don't even know, it's the sequel to Bright Smoke. Like, I don't even know what it's saying, but this is Endless Water, Starless Sky by Rosamund Hodge. I own the first book in this duology and I never read it, but I did read Cruel Beauty and Crimson Brown. So then when her third book got published, I was like, yes, I'll eventually read this. Come probably 5 years later, I still have not. But this was only $7, so it just seemed like I would be wasting money by leaving it there when I could find it at such a good price, so I did. The next 5 I bought all at once, and I really didn't need to buy 5 books, but I did. I went to multiple bookstores and picked up a lot of things and I was very excited. So I got a copy of Killjoy by Holly Jackson. So I literally saw this at every single bookstore that I went to, but I bought it at Big W and I got it for $12. So I'm like, yes, bargain shopping, and with my discount I get it for cheaper. But it's only a tiny ass book. Like, I'm not spending $20 on this novella, and also I feel like I need to read and continue on the trilogy and finish it before I read this, but I just wanted to have a copy because I thought it seemed like a limited release and I didn't want to like miss out on actually getting it. And then stupidly I decided to buy the 6th book in the School for Good and Evil series. It's a series, it's 6 books. So it's One True King by Samanj Hani, and I read the first one and I wasn't really that fussed. Like, I read it for the movie. I do hope they continue making more movies because I feel like it did do a really good job, and hopefully, like, with how much money they spent on it, they will do another one. I don't even know if I want to finish this series, so I don't know why I bought this. This is just me needing to own all the books in a series, and it was most likely a bad decision. If I end up unhauling this, I'm going to be annoyed, but I do feel like this is a series that I'll probably will continue to keep because when I have kids of my own, I feel like they would probably read them. So if my own kids that don't exist will read this series before I finish it, I would find that so funny, okay? That's where it's probably gonna go. But I found it for cheap enough, so I decided to buy it, so that's how it always is. Then I got my Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey, so I'm really excited to own this. I just keep bulk buying Tessa Bailey books, honestly, because I just want to own all of them, even though with the Fixer Up series, I was like, oh my god, this is just too much, and the smut's blah, and I don't like the characters, and now I'm just like, oh my god, give me every single book. I feel like from the reader I was when I read Fixer Up to where I am now, I like her books so much now. Like, she's an author for me. I love the development of me just not liking it that much to being completely obsessed. And I will buy any book that she releases. I don't care what it is, I will buy it. Case in point, I also have Too Hot to Handle by Tessa Bailey, and I will try and read this one before I go out and buy the rest because they are at Dimmicks, and next time I'm in Newcastle I will try and go to a Dimmicks and maybe buy them because I do have like $8 of credit, and I'm like, yes, I'm gonna spend 60 bucks on books, but I have $8 off, so this is the vibe. But I feel like it's gonna be good, and I'm happy that this series of books has got new covers because I don't want to buy them when they're ugly. I only want to buy them when they're pretty. And then I finally got a copy of Mr. Wrong Nunma by Lynn Painter. So this was one of my anticipated reads for last year, and I just never got to buying it because it was really expensive online. But the way that in the last year there has been so many romance books in the bookstores, and every time I go to Dimmicks I get so excited because I have to buy these romance books when I can find them in store, because online they can be so freaking expensive. And even Big W widening their range of books, and I seriously feel like Kmart was right on the verge of just getting rid of books, but when they realized that people want to buy them again, they've brought them back in, which makes me so incredibly happy. I hope to read this year. I don't know if I will get to it, but fingers crossed I can. Then I got my copies of To Love Jason Thorne and To Hate Adam Connor by Ella Mays, and the thing that annoys me is I bought these online because I found them for $16 online and I was so excited, and then I found them at Big W for $12 each, and I'm like, I could have saved $8, so it's annoying. But I couldn't really do much about it once I actually had my editions, so it's just a problem that I just try not to think about now because, like, I wasted my money. But it's fine. As long as these books are amazing, then we will be fine. But I've heard really good things. They are a duology of different things, like a companion duology, but there's hate to love, and there's movie effects, and there's just all these things that I generally really enjoy in a romance story. So I just knew that I needed to buy copies of them, and I'm so excited that I keep finding new contemporary authors to read. My shelves aren't excited because there's no space, but I'm excited. Then I finally got my editions of Lore Olympus by Rachel Smith. So I've got Lore Olympus Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. So I have been intrigued by this series for quite a while, but I just didn't want to spend the money. And I was told by multiple sources that I needed them in hardcover because every time I found a copy of it in paperback, people were like, no. So I waited, and then when I would look online, it was like 50 bucks each. But I did find them on Amazon for $35 each, and I was like, you know what, I've been having a shit day. Spend $100 and whatever on these 3 books, but I am so excited. And I pre-ordered the 3rd one, so it came like a month later, and I cannot wait for volume 4. I have read all of these. I'm completely obsessed. They are so good, and I highly recommend it. It doesn't even matter what format you buy them in. You just need to make sure you read them because they're beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stories. Then I got the Quartet of the Twisted books, so I've got, whoa, losing it, Twisted Love, Twisted Games, Twisted Hate, and Twisted Lies. So this is an author that's come into rare. The only reason I bought these books, and obviously I've seen a lot of people talking about them recently, like, not that I've seen them on TikTok a lot, but a lot of YouTubers that I really enjoy watching have been talking about this series, so I decided to buy them. Again, a big W purchase, so I got my discount, got them for cheaper, made me really happy. But I haven't read any of these yet, but I am going to try and read this one pretty much next after the read that I'm currently reading. So hopefully I will finally be able to experience it. But I am so happy to have them, and I like how simplistic they look. Like, they have great covers. The next book that I bought was The Hardest Fall by Ella May. So you know how I was saying that I paid way more for the other books than I should have? Well, when I saw the other 2 books, this one was also there. So I decided to buy it to save myself a little bit of money in the situation. And I'm pretty sure the other one was there as well, but I decided not to buy it because at this point I already had a lot of books, which you can tell from the book haul so far. So I was like, I will do a good thing and not buy it, and be very proud of myself. But I'm not really sure what this one is necessarily about. I just bought it because it's from the same author and they all look pretty. Like, what other reason do I need? Then I finally bought Dream On by Angie Hockman. I have been dying to read this book to the point where I completely forgot about it, and I don't think about it as often as I did. But Shipped is seriously one of the most underrated contemporaries, and if anyone wants to read it and talk to me about it, because I absolutely loved it. And I'm sorry, I'm probably overhyping it because someone will probably read and be like, this was so dumb. I don't care, I was obsessed. Graham is such a sweet bean. All I need when I'm reading my contemporaries is vibes, and they were definitely there in this book. So I need to know that this one is going to be as good. I really hope it is, because I'll be so disappointed if it's not. Then I got a copy of Dark Rise by C.S. Pacat. So another book that I bought specifically because they come into rare, and I got this for $4 on Amazon, and I had to pay the shipping, which made it like $8, but like $4, excuse me, I had to buy it. I wasn't even sure if I was planning on buying this in hardcover or not, but like, you cannot pass up $4. And really, I don't know what it's about. I feel like it's kind of giving me Dune vibes. It's probably nothing like Dune, but like, I just watched that movie like a month ago and I was like, oh my god, this is so boring. So I feel like this book is going to be boring and it's going to be a struggle, so I need to read it soon because I know it's going to take me a long time. I need to bring it with me somewhere where I just have to read for a long time, or if someone's doing sprints, I will use this book as my sprint book because I'm not going to get through it, because these type of thick fantasies are just not it for me anymore. So I bought that during the Black Friday sale, and I also bought the Kingdom of the Wicked trilogy, and I got the 3 hardcover box set for $80, and I was so excited. So Kingdom of the Wicked, Kingdom of the Feared, and Kingdom of the Curse by Kerry Maniscalco. So she wrote the Stalking Jack the Ripper series, which I was obsessed with back in the day. And when this book came out, I had every intention of buying it. But now these 2 have been out for how long now? So obviously I just never got around to it. And I started reading this book for a readathon, and now I've put it down because there's other things I need to do. So it probably will take me a few months to get back to this. And I will. It's not like I've put it down forever. Like, I couldn't have just bought the trilogy and then just wasted my money and not read it. I need to get the spark, though, that's going to make me obsessed with the series, and it just hasn't hit me yet. But I'm just so happy that I got it for such a good price. And something really exciting is I actually decided to do a random act of kindness on one of the Facebook group pages that I'm in, and I bought a book for someone, and then 3 people bought me books, and it made me so happy. Like, I was so excited that 3 people decided to buy me something, and I just felt so thankful, and I just was just so happy. Like, this is the first time I've ever done a random act of kindness, and I just feel so thankful from it. And I loved buying a book for someone else as well, but just the fact that people picked me 3 times, like, I'm so blessed. So firstly, I have Guild by Raven Kennedy. So this is the first book in the Plated Prisoner series, and I'm so glad that the 4th book has come out in a paperback that matches now, but I've only got the first one. I am again trying to read the books before I buy the sequels, but then I'm also like, what if they don't sell them anymore? And like, there's all that issue going on with Amazon now that they're not going to sell the books anymore, and I'm like, I don't know what to do, so maybe I should go out and buy these, but I'm also on my book buying ban. Like, tell me what to do, because I don't know. But I feel like this is going to be an interesting story, and I like the idea of these fantasy romances because I haven't really delved into them as much, because it's a different breed than romance that happens in fantasy in general, which is like the YA romances, to legit this, like, it's a romance novel, but it's just got fantasy in it as well. Like, there's a difference that I can't explain very well, but so thankful. Then I also got In 5 Years by Rebecca Surley. So I have read from this author before because I'm pretty sure she's the one that wrote that Rosaline retelling that was utter garbage. And I have been concerned about reading from this author again, but this book just sounds so good. But basically she has this dream where it goes 5 years in the future and she's engaged to another man, and then she wakes up from the dream and she's with someone else and she's like, oh my god, what do I do with my life? Imagine if that happened though, that you could see 5 years in the future and you'd be so confused. I'd be like, oh my god, I'm doing the exact same thing again, nothing has changed. It will be on my honest opinion of my life in 5 years time. But I think it sounds really good. It's also really tiny, so like if I need to get my Goodreads goal up, this is going to be a good one. And then I also got Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. So as I said, Tessa Bailey books are coming to me in clutch, and I've already read this book. I decided to read it in December because it was a good one to pick for the Hemisphere Christmas games, but just also I thought that I would be able to read it because it is also like a novella sized story. So it was really easy to read and I really enjoyed this. I thought the characters were great, the story was great, and everything was talked through so easily in the small amount of time that we had. But again, I'm so thankful to the people that bought me books. Like, you guys rock. Then I have the first 4 books in the Bonds That Tie series, and I've got Broken Bonds, Savage Bonds, Blood Bonds, and Forced Bonds. So I was looking at these on Amazon because I just really find it easy to buy books on Amazon, but also just because it's cheaper, and with how expensive everything's been getting, it's just an easier way to buy things. But these books were like $40 each, and I was like, hell to the no, is that happening? And then on the Lovers Facebook page, I saw one person selling all 6 of the books for like $120, and they sold out, so I didn't have a chance to get them. But then another person sold the first 4 for $80, and I was like, holy shit. So I jumped on there and got them. And then I saw another person selling like the first 3, and then I have not seen anyone selling them again. But the fact that, like, with Rare coming up, so many people were selling these, and I was like, oh shit. So I got my hands on these books, but they are so incredibly heavy that I wouldn't even be able to take these all in my suitcases anyway, because they're too heavy. Like, there's probably 3 kilos of weight just here. So I will bring the first one with me, and I did a pre-order for the last 2 that I haven't been sent an email about yet, but hopefully for the event, so I will pick them up from the event, so at least I can get books 1, 5 and 6 signed and actually own them all. But then the other thing is I'm listening to them on audiobook anyway. Like, does anyone feel bad when you buy books but then you just listen to the audiobooks anyway, so you don't actually actively physically read the story? And I'm so close to being finished the first one. Like, I've got like 20 pages left to go, and that's me just currently listening to it, so I might just physically finish the book later today just so that it's finished. But like, the audiobooks are so good though. I love the voice narrator, and it really helps you get into the story so much. Like, it's just been such a good experience. Oh my god, it's like getting close to the end, but like it's not there yet. But I have 3 books that, because it was December, I had my Christmas money unlocked at Woolworths, because they have this whole thing where you get points every time you shop, and every time you get 2,000 points you get $10 voucher, and I save all my vouchers until Christmas, so I had $300. And I did a big shop at Big W to buy Christmas gifts for people, and I also bought myself 3 books. So not even purchased, because I got them with my free money, and it makes me happy. So I have The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. So same author as Mr. Wrong Nunma, but I thought it'd be really interesting to read an adult contemporary and a young adult book from this author. And a lot of people have been talking this book up. So it's from all the recommendations that I've been hearing constantly when it was like released. Like, I feel like it was released last year, but I don't know if it was in the second half of the year. But that is the main reason I decided to pick it up, because just a lot of people were talking about it and I thought it was a must. Then I bought Cursed by Marissa Meyer, and the main reason I bought a sequel to a book that I haven't read yet is I just wanted to make sure that I also had the tall paperback match the first book. So that is a reason to buy things when they come out, I guess, if they're the editions that you're going after, because I'm pretty sure the first book is only in a small paperback now. So I don't know when I'm going to read this duology, or if it's going to be a trilogy or series. I have no idea, but I just thought it was a good time to buy it, and hopefully I will read it eventually. Like, there's so many books that are on the eventually read list that they'll probably still be there in 60 years, but there's always options. And then I finally bought Marriage from One by Ella Mays, so I own all 4 books that are currently published. I don't know if there is anything coming out soon, or if there is other books that have to get pretty covers done up for them. I have no idea. But I own all the 4 books. I'm proud that I finally have them. And this one's also a fake marriage. And I'm like, yes, I need to read this immediately because it sounds so good. Then for a Christmas gift, Sasha from Sash Reads bought me Happenstance by Tessa Bailey. So like the 14th Tessa Bailey book in this book haul. This one actually more matches my shirt than the other book that I was talking about matching my shirt. But it's funny because just recently I saw this in Big W in the traditional published format that actually matches all of my other Tessa Bailey books, and I was so tempted to buy it. But I like the fact that this is such a large paperback. Like, I don't own any books like that are this large, and it's the independently published one because a reverse harem book was not going to be picked up, so she bought me this. And then they were eventually like, you know what, let's do it. And I'm like, okay. So I am so excited though. I think me and Sasha are going to do a buddy read of this book, but with Rare coming up, we're both focusing more on the books that we have to read for that. But definitely, I am so ready for this when you are. Another Rare purchase, but the Rich Please trilogy, because the last book literally just turned up today because this book was released on the 1st of January. It took them this long to get my pre-order to me because there was problems with the book actually getting delivered to the dispatch center, and then it took forever for it to get sent. And I even emailed them and I'm like, what gives? Where is my book? And they finally got it to me today. So this is really good because I was filming this book haul anyway, but I'm just happy that this finally rocked up. But I have Witch Please, Boss Witch, and Extra Witchy. So I'm currently reading Boss Witch, and I've already read this one. So I am glad that few of the books in this book haul have been read, but there are still 43 books that are getting put into my room. This is like the no self-control book haul. That's going to be the title of this video because it's literally what it is. I just had a bad moment and then suddenly I just own 4 million more books. And then the last book I have is All Downhill With You by Julie Oliver, and this also was a Christmas present from Miranda. So thank you to Sasha and Miranda for actually buying me some books that I'm really excited for, because like I finally made an Amazon wish list, so if people want to buy me books they can. And just saying, my birthday's coming up on the 6th of March, so wink wink, if anyone wants to buy me a present, you really do not have to, but I don't need more books. But also if you want to, I will much appreciate it. But I'm excited for this because it's like a theme park romance, and it's like, yes, I've never read a book that has that. I simply must read this. Like, there's no other question. Okay, I am nowhere near going to lift up all these books. I'm going to attempt it for my thumbnail, but like, damn. And I know this video was also going for a really long time, so that's why I just gave no synopsises whatsoever. I hope this video was good. I feel like it's going to be so long, and I'm going to edit it tomorrow and be like, damn. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!